Barron, such a pleasure to be with you again.
Super excited to be here.
Thank you so much. It's needless to say, it's a very different world from when we were here last year. The humanitarian work that's being done sorry, I get choked up. I was telling my co-founder that I was crying a little bit backstage looking over these numbers for this event.
It's okay to hold my hand through this. It really is.
Can you give us a snapshot of what's happening across the world right now with the dismantling of all these incredible aid programs that were helping so many people?
Yeah, it's a very troubling period of time right now. When we think about why it's so urgent, I wish that those individuals that don't understand the need for food insecurity could talk to those 300 million people around the world today that are suffering from acute food insecurity. These are human lives. I would say, I believe, like a lot of people, that we have a moral and an ethical responsibility to help those who are hungry. And I'm very grateful for everybody that's here today, but also the millions of people in the United States and around the world that are rallying around food and food insecurity. I've never seen anything like it.
Right. That gives me hope. I'm wondering if you can give us an idea of what the World Food Program USA does, and so that people really understand why the work is important.
Yeah, so World Food Program USA, we're based in Washington, D.C. We're based in D.C. because we do a lot of work with policymakers. For example, Cindy McCain, who's our global executive director, was in D.C. last week. So we do a lot of work staffing her, and then we do a lot of meetings with congressional members on occasion, visits to the field. There's nothing like seeing the work firsthand. So I would say it's a combination of unlocking resources. Programs don't happen without resources. We're always trying to amplify the voices and the stories of the most vulnerable in the most respectful way. And I would say educating policymakers, the public in the United States, about the need to care about solutions for those who are hungry around the world.
That dignity piece is so important because folks need to have that to understand what's going on around the world. One of the things that I've seen happen over these last 9 months is organizations like yours are increasingly turning to the private sector. Can you talk about why that corporate support is going to be so needed over the next 3.5 years?
So I'll talk about corporate, I'll talk about other support as well. I would say that when the narrative of humanity in less developed countries became one of less caring, I was really interested to see how the U.S. would react, companies, foundations, faith-based groups, and I was worried that there would be a sense of pulling away. And I've seen the opposite happen. And it's been incredibly humbling to sit in my seat and look at the number of companies and foundations and faith-based groups and individuals that are searching for the World Food Program to make a difference. And by the way, make a difference not only through donating, but we also have a platform called Zero Hunger Generation, which you're going to hear about. We've signed up 1,500 young people in the last 3 weeks. Young people.
Congratulations. Give that a round of applause.
Yeah, young people that want to be involved, they want to be engaged. But I would say the private sector is important right now, and whether it's the Google or UPS or the Patrick McGovern Foundation, because we have to have solutions. There's enough food, we said this last year, there's enough food in this world to feed everybody, but we need solutions given the advancements in technology to make sure that we're reaching the most number of people with the right solutions. And by the way, that's not just in places like Gaza or South Sudan, but also there are a lot of areas around the world that are resilient, and they're creating income from farming. And so we want to make sure that we are lifting out of poverty and also providing that daily food assistance that keeps people alive.
Absolutely. And Barron, you should know that when people ask me, because people ask me almost daily, who should they be donating to who's working internationally, I always send them to WFP USA.
And you're a donor, and we appreciate that. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you so much. I'm wondering, we need the hope right now. What is giving you hope?
Well, what's giving me hope? Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air. I would say, honestly, it's the experiences that I have, and every time I go to the field, I come back so uplifted. And maybe 4 stories, I would tell you, had an opportunity to go to the field with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We went to Liberia. We handed out school meals. It was just such an incredible emotional experience for me. And I remember that a teacher came up to me and she said, I know you're with the World Food Program, but one thing I want to tell you is that without school meals, the kids weren't in school.
Right.
And she said, we could have all the desks and the latrines and the water and the chalkboards, but without food, kids weren't in school. 80% enrollment increase.
Wow.
Because of food.
Incredible.
I would say in Kenya, I went and saw hydroponics, which is basically, keeping plants, food plants growing without soil, and then how they take them to the market. And I saw income generation. To me, that was really exciting. I would say that I was in Central South America and walked up to 2 young people. They were teenagers, and they told me a story about how they decided not to migrate to the United States because through the World Food Program and its partners, that income and jobs were created, and they didn't want to leave their families. So I would go to opportunity. We have a responsibility, and I would say that from a hope perspective, you're going to hear today some of the solutions, and they're massive, and they're amazing, and they have the ability of transforming food and our ability to deliver food. And so I would say, and everybody that's here today, it gives me a massive amount of hope.
Absolutely. Quick call to action for this audience and who are tuning in online and in this room.
Listen, I mean, the best way to engage with us is go to the World Food Program, WPUSA.org. If you're Gen Z, we would love for you to join the Zero Hunger generation. Follow us, learn about us, and go on the journey with us. And I would just say, honestly, we need you, so please do it.
Thank you, Barron. Thank you for holding my hand today. Thank you for holding the hand of so many people across the world.
Thank
Please
you.
give him a round of applause.